Right, leveled up the 3Q. You know, I really wish I could just stay 5Q to play instructional games, but I'll probably start playing on other servers like OGS. Let me remind you guys, for those you guys that are first watching, I do review the games after I play them, so that could be where a lot of value is to you guys. Oh, this guy, he is playing the Joseki. That's nice. That is not the Joseki. I don't know. Sometimes I just don't feel like these guys have a really good grasp on the game overall. I mean, I'll keep on extending as long as he wants to keep extending. But it's not like... I mean, each extend definitely favors me. He's getting like 1 point. I'm getting a lot more influence on the outside. So you want to extend as little as possible. There's not much more potential over here. Yeah, that's not a good move. See, like, letting people do that, that's no bueno. Letting someone do that is definitely no bueno. I should probably just take this corner over here, but still. Still want to cut off his base. And that is perfectly fine. Let's secure the corner. Thinking hard now. It's weird, like, I don't understand why lower ranked players don't just play Josekis. Because realistically, like, Josekis aren't bad, you know. They're pretty good. Josekis are pretty good. You end up playing something like that. You end up playing something like this. And then you let me, like, basically do this. And it's just, I just don't think it's just not good. I mean, I guess he can try to attack this, but I don't think he will. That's pretty strong overall. I should have played this, though. I shouldn't have. This is not worth much. I definitely should have come up this way. That's a pretty big that's actually a pretty big mistake by me. I definitely should have come up here and force him to do this. I should have saved that. I honestly should have saved that for later. Honestly, should have saved that one for later. He hasn't made any big screw ups so far, though. I think I'm going to use this and eventually try to live this somehow. try to eventually live this corner in here. This score estimation of right now just doesn't really work all that well. These 3Ks are actually much better than the 5Ks, at least a little bit. Do that just to see his answer. Kind of want to do this to see what he does. Let's see what he does. Interesting.
Yoyomi now starts.
I got a couple of options here. Okay, but that doesn't really do anything. I'm going to see if I can actually go this way. Does ladder work for him? I don't know. I think it actually does work for him. Just leave it alone and do that over there. Now the ladder doesn't work for him.
Nine, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
The reason I did that was
2 Yoyomis left.
to make the ladder work for me. Otherwise, it wouldn't work for me. We're going to do this just to lengthen out my liberties. Actually, no, that doesn't do anything. I'm stupid. To admit, this
9,
is kind of dangerous for
8,
me.
7.
I can do that. Oh, that's not good. I shouldn't have done that. Yeah, that was the right move right there. If I do this, no, I can't do that right now. I think he's got 4 liberties as well, which is bad. I think I'm just going to take advantage of this over here then. I think I'm a couple liberties short. That's the problem. Do you think I'm a few liberties
9,
short, unfortunately?
8, 7.
Shouldn't have done this. Yep. I do get the outside, though. I do actually get the outside, so that's fine. But it's not really that solidified, unfortunately. I did this wrong. I shouldn't have given up as much.
Yoyomi now starts.
Should not have given up nearly as much.
Nine, 8, 7, 6.
But this is kind of how you... this is kind of how you make territory, though, honestly. That's how you actually use influence to make territory. And this is coming up right here. So sacrificing this was okay because it let me get all this on the outside. I still did that wrong, by the ways. I'm not saying I didn't do that wrong, because I most definitely did that wrong. But I did actually like make a lot of like middle territory. He has this cut right here, but I'm not too concerned about that. This is actually not all that big. And plus I can always do this to get these two if I really need to.
9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2.
That kills a lot of the corner Aji. I still have this bisecting move. Go ahead and fix this. Probably should have just done this, actually. I actually played okay with this. This guy actually played decently this game. Didn't let me kill everything, but if you estimate the score, I'm winning by about 30 points. He has a little bit in here, definitely. Not going to deny that. But he let me get way too much in here. And he does have this cut, by the ways. This cut is pretty darn good. Now it's actually kind of powerful. He really doesn't need to do that. Because he's giving up like way too many points here. Oh, if he does that, I'm dead, right? He's giving up way too many points there. There's really no need to do that. I'll let him have these two, actually. I'll actually let him have these two. It's fine, but I still got that in the mouth, so whatever. Yep. Gets those points very, very well. But he did have to actually, like, sacrifice a lot over here, so I'm not really that afraid. There are some problems in here, though. There are definitely some problems in there.
Nine, 8, 7, 6.
Might as well just do that. That's big. I'm not going to bother to try to cut him there. Just take the big ending moves because I am up by like 30 points and call it a day. Yeah. So today's lesson is basically going to be using your influence to make a lot of points like this. Because that is essentially the whole point of influence. So I managed to get about 30 points this way by sacrificing this. And this was his corner anyway, so I did lose some down here. And that wasn't the best way to do it, but I did manage to get a lot of points here.
9, 8,
That's what
7,
I won by.
6.
That's not worth doing anything with. I don't really know what it is though. I'm going to fix this over here just in case. That's not worth answering right now. See, it's not a lot of points in here because there's very little territory outside the taken stones. That's actually an important lesson, folks. Corner's not very big. He gave up a lot giving me this side. Up by 35 points.
9, 8, 7, 6, 5. Nine, 8.
This whole corner is maybe like 25 points. So there wasn't a lot there. Did let him get a little bit here, but I have way more in here. Basically, the game was over when I solidified this center territory and he didn't play this right. But if he had tried to break some of my center territory, I would have been able to break his territory in here. So fix everything, make sure nothing goes awry. Oh, wait, dude, this is... Oh, this is big. I forgot about this. How did I forget about that? I think we both... Oh, man, we both forgot about that. That's actually pretty big. That's fine, though. It's not... It's really not all that important. Really not all that important.
9, 8, 7,
I can't believe we forgot.
5,
Both of us forgot
4.
about this. Cannot believe both of us forgot about that. Complete nonsense that both of us just forgot about that, man. But the difference in points is pretty huge, as you can see. That has a lot of points in here. Has a ton of points in here as well.
Nine, 8, 7.
It's fine. Just gonna get my points. This game's pretty much over. Game is pretty much over. Realistically, like, we really shouldn't be playing this out. I'm ahead by way too much. Because this is like 40 something points in here. And yeah, there's just nothing in here. Not much in here you can actually do. Let's fill in the blanks. Score. And we don't have anything anymore, so we pass. He might try to break this, but I'm just going to extend so he doesn't have anything. There's really nothing anywhere here that he can actually do. That's useless. You lost, bro. Give it up. So I want to actually go ahead and do this game review because it's actually like a new kind of lesson. So I lost, I won by like 35 points. I hate that when it does that. I mean, it shouldn't blow up the game because I really want to review this game, which I am. Here we go. This is the game right here. It's the game right here. So let's go back. And realistically, like, the beginning of this game was just fine. There's nothing seriously he did wrong. I mean, over here, obviously, Obviously, like over here, this move, not good. Basically, if you want to do this, you just play here and let me do this. This is an even trade, and plus you have this stone over here limiting my potential here. So doing this lets me go down here. And yes, while you do get some points, you do let me get way too much influence this way. Of course, like doing that after this is kind of pointless because I'm just going to bump this way. And that's when someone bumps here, you don't do that. You have to come up. Because letting someone else do this is just way too comfortable. So do this. I, of course, am I going to do this? Going to go over. And that's actually not a good move. That's not that big. I should have just like either done this or just come up here and force him to do something like this. So I feel like I made a wrong move there. I definitely made a wrong move there. That's not really that big. And that lets him get this move, which is way, way more valuable in my opinion. Protect my corner. He does this. I clamp. He does this. I do this again. Now he only has 2, and I get the corner, which is pretty nice. He does this. I'm going to do this. He protects the corner. This is just like a what will you do type of move. If he blocks this way, I can do like a ko. But he jumps, so that's kind of, since he jumps, it is kind of dead until basically later. So so I'm just going to leave it alone for right now. Do that. I jump up. He does this. Actually, like doing this move, he solidifies this. He kind of like takes away this kind of like Hane thing here. So that might not have been good for me. I'm going to try to bisect his stones. I do this. Just come up. I'm going to take away his base block first. He does that. I'm going to jump up. He does this. These guys are definitely better than the 5Qs. I'm going to do this. Now, this doesn't actually need to be answered. I don't know if I would actually answer this. I probably wouldn't, because although like, you know, this, I can do this and those two would be good. So I guess this is fine. I don't know if it's big enough right now though. I guess so. I'm going to try to see if I can play this Aji out. See, like without this, I would see if this stone wasn't here, I would Atari the other way. But since it is here, I have to Atari this way, clamp down, he does this. But, you know, like, a lot of lower Q players would actually play this until the end. You don't really do this. You just leave the Aji here. Of course, I'm going to attack this. 1, to build my influence over here to see if I can get territory. And 2, I break his ladder here if he actually responds. If he doesn't respond, I'm going to go over here. So he, of course, responds. Now I cut. So now when he actually does this, he can't ladder me anymore because that stone's there. So that's kind of the purpose of that move, plus to build this side. So he's going to do this and come up over here. I'm going to charge that first. That was probably, that definitely was not a good move. I should not have done that. That kind of doomed me in the end, but I definitely should not have done that because that's 1 liberty out for me. I do this. He does this, which is weird. I do this. So this particular move, you kind of have to do this because that gives me a lot of problems here. That gives me so many problems here. So he definitely needs to do something like this instead. But he makes the wrong move here. So now, like, you see, like, this Moyo is definitely coming together now. So I do this. He does this. I'm going to block. And he knows he has 1 more liberty here. So this is why this is so important right here. If I didn't do this, I would have won this fight. So that was a bad move by me. But that doesn't really matter because, like, I'm just going to solidify my outside. Using this as my advantage, I'm going to solidify the outside. See how different this would have been if he actually played here instead of here? Because here he doesn't have any cut threats on me. Here he would have a ton of cut threats on me. So I'm going to Hane out here. I don't know, man. Like, I feel like at this point, like, this group is basically, is pretty much alive. I mean, you'd have to, I'm not really sure what you would do here, but I don't think that's the right move. I'm pretty sure that's not the right move. This you would probably just invade in here, because realistically, I can't cut you. I might do something like this, but if you do this, you're basically alive. So you're really not that afraid of me doing anything. So I don't think you would. I don't know. I feel like he needed to invade here at some point along the line, but he didn't do that. So he basically let me basically make this entire moil. At this point, you really don't have any At this point, he really doesn't have that many invasions anymore. So like at this point, like this territory is made and he lost. So basically, like this is how I turned this like influence into that territory, just by the sequence of moves and also using the Aji down here of these dead stones. I made a serious mistake right there, miscalculation definitely. But using the series of the series of moves over here to solidify my side, and his mistakes of never invading here. Of course, had he invaded, I would have been able to take other advantages, and that's how you use influence to actually make territory. You don't like after this is done, he's basically lost. But the thing is, like, you don't, like when you have something like this, when you actually have something like this, you don't just try to like make as much territory as possible like this. If you do this, he's just going to do this, and you're not going to get much territory. But you have to use this. But you have to use this. You do actually have to use the sentes that you can get over here. You definitely have to use the sentes that you can get over here, and force this territory. So that obviously gets me a lot of territory here, and this is how you win the game. The rest of the moves are kind of inconsequential, honestly. Here, the lesson is just like how to use your influence to actually make territory without killing anything. I did have to sacrifice this here. Once again, I made a big mistake here, but overall, I ended up winning by like 35 points or so because I was able to use this influence to create this territory. Not by like just trying to control it together, but by using like some of his weak points and using some of the Aji and sacrificing some stones to make that territory. So hope you learned something. Like and subscribe, hit that bell notifications button, and I will see you guys next time.